Toxic, the podcast where we talk about the X's and O's of relationships, friendships, situationships, and all of the messy, chaotic, emotional fallout that comes with them.
If you've ever stayed in a relationship longer than you should have, ignored a red flag so bright it needed sunglasses, or told your friends, I'm done, just to go right back the next day, yeah, this podcast is for you.
Every week we break down the real stuff, the toxic habits that we don't admit, the friendships that fall apart, the love bombing, gaslighting, and social media drama. All of it. We're not just blaming our exes either. We're calling ourselves out too.
So if you want honesty, a little humor, a little chaos, and a whole lot of, oh my god, I've been there, hit play, we're unpacking everything.
This is Toxic, and if you're wondering if it applies to you, toxic?
Probably. Welcome to the first episode of Toxic, the podcast where we don't just talk about the crazy things other people do, we also admit the crazy things we have done. Today, we're asking a hard question. Are we actually the toxic ones? Grab your honesty goggles because we're going in.
Yikes. Okay.
So, the first topic we are talking about is what actually makes someone toxic?
That's tough. I feel like everyone is so quick to call someone toxic, but I don't think any of us have a clear actual definition of it.
Yeah, I feel like I 100% agree with you. Like, we just jump to the conclusion that somebody is toxic because we don't like the way that they're acting.
Yeah. A lot of times we don't want to admit that, like, we just don't like something and we have preferences, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And maybe that their action was a little shit. But I don't think everything's toxic, and I think as a whole society, we really just put that label on everything.
I also feel like just being in, like, this generation nowadays, it's like every little thing you do is toxic.
Yeah. Nobody, like, just gets over shit anymore.
No, and it's like people hold grudges for the stupidest things.
Real.
But
That's so real.
I don't know, like, if there's, like, a pure definition of, like, someone being toxic. I think it's just more behavior.
Yeah, there's personality traits. Like, obviously, if they're gaslighting you, probably pretty toxic, right?
Yeah.
If they're, like, I don't know, love bombing or... A lot of, like, what I look at toxic as is, like, every little thing's a fight. Like, everything. You can start fights over anything. Or, like, just stuff like that, kind of. Yeah. But I would also say that, like, I don't know. A lot of times, it's so easy to call something else.
Yeah.
Like love bombing. Is it love bombing, or are you literally just in the honeymoon phase of your relationship?
Yeah.
Because I
think
it's
a topic we will discuss on another episode.
Oh, really?
So.
Do you think we've covered that question well enough? I don't think we gave a
solid
answer, but
I
don't have a definition for toxic.
I don't have a definition either.
If I really had to, like, narrow it down, I don't have one.
You can see certain behavior, and if you choose to bounce off that behavior and treat it and do it to, like, another person, that is toxic.
Yeah, I think...
But also, that's not the definition of toxic. I don't know how to describe it.
No, but I think toxicity and hypocrisy run very
deep,
close to each other, too.
They're, like, intertwined.
I think so.
It's like DNA.
I think if I would define toxic, I would probably link it to hypocrisy, honestly.
If you could describe toxic as one word that obviously isn't the word toxic, what would you say?
I could give you a name.
One word, not a name.
Okay. Harmful.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say consistent.
Consistency is not always a good thing.
No.
So, be honest. Do you think you're toxic? And then I need you to tell me why or why not.
I wouldn't say I'm, like, to the bone toxic. I feel like I have toxic tendencies from what I have been through in past relationships. Like, trust issues and, like, abandonment issues and, like, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm toxic, but I do have toxic tendencies.
You have the tendencies. I will say when I got into my current / previous relationship. We're gonna call it current. We've taken the adult and necessary steps to handle the situation and come back from the situation. I will say, like, for that relationship, I did kind of have to, like, look in the mirror and be like, hey, I have tendencies, obviously. I think everyone has toxic tendencies.
Oh, 100%.
But I think you can the more you realize those and try to fix those, I think the better you are. I had a lot of toxic tendencies that I had to really, like, hone in on when I got into that relationship. It was, like, just I used to just start fights because that's what I grew up around. I thought that when you loved someone, you just screamed at each other all the time. And I realized that in all of, like, my past relationships, clearly that has not worked for me. So I was like, we could probably work on that one. And there's, like, just a bunch of stuff that you're like, I wouldn't say I'm a toxic person.
No.
I would say I have tendencies.
Yes, 100%.
But I realize those tendencies, and I actively work towards not doing that.
Oh, yeah. I think, like, for me, the biggest thing for me is trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because being in such a very toxic relationship, it, like, put such wear on my mental health, and, like, it just made me literally question everything that was happening. I was consistently compared to females online. And always, like, wondering, like, oh, like, is that who he's hanging out with? Is that what he's doing stuff with? Is that this and that, this and that? And it's, like, all of these aspects, like, being controlling and, like, manipulative, like, it just, like, those are toxic tendencies that I know I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, like, not something I have control over if they show up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know deep down I'm not a controlling, manipulative, narcissistic, toxic person, but I have the tendencies to do that. But then again, I came from a bad relationship, and then the person next to me is in a perfect relationship but still has those tendencies.
Yeah.
Because we are human. What behaviors do we catch ourselves repeating?
I struggle. I'm going to tell you my most toxic trait that I know I need to break, but I literally can't to save my fucking life, dude. I get that people are busy. It happens. If you open my text message and don't respond, and I think maybe you responded, so I go check it, and it's been like 25 minutes and you have not responded to me, I will text you, good talk, glad we had it. And it's something I, like, can't get rid of. And I know it's toxic. Obviously, it happens, like, people are busy. Can't get past it. Cannot. If you ignore me in person, I do the same thing, too. Mm-hmm. Like, heaven forbid somebody doesn't hear me. Because here I am, like, good talk!
See, I would say, like, mine is kind of the same thing, but I just don't, like, respond. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think my biggest, like, toxic behavior that I catch myself repeating over and over and over again is, like, I'll text someone and say they leave me on read. I just continuously go back to the conversation.
Just stare at it?
I just stare at it.
And you're just like...
I'm just like, damn. Like, damn! Like, what did I do?
See, that's where you and I are such different people. Is, like, on your topic of, like, being compared to people online, I've been cheated on. Does it suck? Yeah. It'll make you question your, like, self-worth, your body image, obviously, whatever. I have always just kind of been the type of person that I'm like, I don't care what other people think. I don't care. I don't sit back and compare myself to other people on the internet because I'm like, this is how I was made, dude. There's nothing I can do to control it.
I will say, I've never, like, looked at someone on the internet and be like, oh my god, I wish I looked like them.
Yeah, I can't do it. I just don't. Do I find myself to be the most attractive human being on the entire planet? No. But I think I'm doing pretty alright. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, like, I've looked at, like, people on Instagram and be like, wow, she's, like, really pretty. Or, like, oh, like, I wish, like... I do say, like, I wish I could look like that.
The only thing I ever wish...
But the thing is, like, I have the choice to be able to make myself change, almost.
Don't.
Say it's, like, a bikini picture online, and I'll be like, oh my god, like, I wish my body looked like that. I'm not saying I want to be that person or look exactly like that person, but it's kind of like almost like putting it in my head as like a goal to myself to better myself, almost. But it's not. I don't know if it's like a bad behavior, but it could be like in the long run, you know.
Right.
Like it could like if I just completely like keep repeating it to myself, it's gonna. Is that toxic on my end?
I don't know. Because I struggle. I love having conversations with you and realizing how your brain works. Because your brain is so much different than my brain. And I think it's funny the way, like the whole, if you leave me on red, I'm just going to stare at the conversation for 20 minutes. And I'm a very, like, proactive, like, I'm going to, you know, if I got something to say, I'm going to say it. If you piss me off, I'm going to let you know. Mm-hmm. Whereas Cameron will, like, kind of just stew on things for a little bit.
Yeah, I sit and wait, and I kind of let it, like, bubble up until it, like...
And then one day she just literally stops talking to you. But Cameron never is like, here's why you're a piece of shit. As I will text you and be like, you're a piece of shit, here's 5 reasons why.
I think, like, going off of that, and, like, how our brains completely work different, and we're obviously completely two opposite people.
Yeah. Very, very different.
One, when it comes to life, and two, when it comes to our friendships. It's like...
Yeah.
We're vastly, completely two different people.
Oh my god, can I tell the story about the bar like 2 weekends ago?
Is this a behavior I repeat?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So let me tell you, ready? So we're at the bar.
We are of age, by the way.
Yes. Yes. But I am more than slightly intoxicated. Like, just chit-chatting, whatever. And some guy comes up and, like, touches Cameron's arm. And is like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And I looked at Cameron, and I knew that she wasn't uncomfortable enough to walk away or say something, but, like, Cameron was kind of like, what the hell?
Like, don't touch me.
Yeah. And so instead of being like, don't touch me, Cameron was like, and so
it's like, it was one of those situations where, like, it happened, and, like, I just completely went blank. Like, I didn't know what to say.
So then I turned around, and I was like, who are you touching? And he's like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. And I said, I don't care how you meant it. And he's like, no, I didn't mean it, like, in a weird way. I said, I mean it in this exact way. How about you don't touch people you don't know? And the guy literally turned around and was like, bunch of bar. And I was like, hell yeah, there is. And, like, Cameron has never once been like, Maisie, that's too much. Like, I didn't need your help.
No.
But, like, and I don't do it because I don't think you can stand up for yourself. I do it because you won't.
I won't.
You won't.
I think...
So Cameron keeps me out of jail because every once in a while she has to, like, grab me by my sweatshirt hood and, you know, drag me to the car because I can't act right. And like, I appreciate you for doing that because sometimes I don't know when enough is enough. And sometimes Cameron doesn't know.
I don't know when to do more.
Yeah. And I don't know when to do less. And I think that's what makes our friendship, like, work so well.
So going back to, like, the question, like, what behaviors do we catch ourselves repeating?
Oh, yeah.
I noticed, like, recently, like, I've known this, like, my whole entire life, but, like, just recently, like, I've had a lot of people come in and out of my life within the last year. Mm-hmm. I am so empathetic.
Yeah.
And, like, when people, like, hear the word empathetic, they're like, oh my god, she's the sweetest human being.
I don't think you're...
And, like, don't get me wrong.
You're empathetic, but you're also very sympathetic.
Yes. I'm an empath to the day, like, I croak.
Yeah, and I'm not.
No. Like,
and I really struggle to understand why people feel the way they do.
A situation that, like, I want to talk about is I went to The Ohio State University and lived in an apartment in Columbus. And everything was good up until it wasn't, and it turned very, very toxic. And they did me dirty. Like, absolutely dirty. But the thing is, like, I'm not mad, and I know I should be. But it's more, I'm questioning why it happened.
Yeah, you're more worried about...
what did I do?
Yeah, you're more worried about why they did it and not that they did it.
Yeah, and
whereas my instant reaction is, you did that,
yeah.
Let me tell you why it was wrong. Whereas yours is like, what could they be going through to make them do that? Yeah. And I don't think like that. And it's probably not a good trait of mine where I'm like, I struggle to understand, I struggle to think about other people's emotions when you hurt mine or someone, like, close to me. Like, Cameron's. If you hurt Cameron's feelings, I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you went through. I don't care why you acted like that, because at the end of the day, you were an adult, and you made the decision to hurt somebody because you were hurt.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when I am hurt, I don't tend to hurt other people's feelings.
Yeah.
I don't tend to do things out of, like, spite in a way that would emotionally or physically degrade someone.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people do. So for me, I don't understand why you would do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is being raised the way I was. Like, I never really got to experience, like, the anger side of childhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think my entire childhood was
filled with anger.
Yeah.
I never grew up in an angry household.
I did. My family, if you want to know why I act the way I do, you have to say one word to my father, and he will, you know what I mean? Like, I am very much my father's daughter.
Yes.
But, like, I don't want to sit here and, like, talk my parents, because I love my parents dearly. They are great. They did the best they could. I will give them that 110% of the time. But I grew up, my parents got divorced when I was 1. So I don't even remember my parents being together. But I do know that until I was, like, 17 years old, my parents hated each other and made it very, very clear that they hated each other. I grew up in households where I thought that if you loved somebody, you had to scream at them.
Yeah.
Where that if, like, I struggled with, like, my first ever healthy actual relationship, poor guy, like, genuinely I feel terrible. Like, I would start fights because I grew up in a household, I thought my mom and her husband loved each other, and I thought my dad and his wife loved each other, and they would scream at each other all the time, and they would throw things, and they would, you know, blah, 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 blah. So for me, I was like, we're not fighting, something's wrong, you don't love me. Yeah. So let me prove my love to you and scream at you.
Yeah, I think...
Where you grew up in a household where people talk.
Yeah.
And, like, not everything's an argument.
And, like, the thing is like, I know growing up, like, a lot of people from my hometown thought that I lived the perfect, like, family life.
Yeah.
And, like, to an extent, like, 90% of it I did.
Yeah.
Like, my parents were always there for each other. They were always there for both of the kids, because I have an older brother. They supported each other in any type of decision that they made. But it's, like, also, my parents also fight.
Yeah, but they do it in a healthy way.
But they do it in a healthy...
Whereas my parents did not support each other in anything they did. My parents, you know what I mean? So, like, we lived polar opposite childhoods.
Completely opposite.
But I would not trade my childhood for your childhood.
No.
I loved my childhood. I think I grew up and had a great childhood. But I thought the things that were going on in my life were normal, whereas they're not, obviously.
But, like,
parents aren't supposed to...
Now that you're older, you're looking back at it, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, I look back and I'm like, oh my god, how did you ever decide to marry that person? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. My parents both loved me dearly. I never needed for anything. Like, I had everything I needed. I had most of the things I wanted. Yeah. Like, my parents, they did great. And I had a great childhood, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I look back, and I'm like, that was not a healthy childhood, you know what I mean?
But, like, going back to, like, the topic before, like, another behavior that I catch myself doing, and it's always going to happen, no matter how hard I try to change it, is instead of trying to, like, get to the root of a problem...
You just want it solved?
No. I'm like, say something, or someone, like... says something that, like, hurts my feelings, I'm not going to be like, damn, that hurt my feelings, and go on about my day. I'm going to sit back and be like, why would you do this to me? What made you want to do this to me? Like, why did you put 2 and 2 together and say that thing to me?
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
Oh my god, I go like this. Ready? Yeah. And then I just move on. But I think it comes to the fact where I have no energy to entertain anyone else's thoughts about me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I have enough thoughts about me. You don't need to have them too. So, but like I am the type of person that I can let a lot of things just roll off. You know what I mean?
I would say like
where you psychoanalyze every
I psychoanalyze
single thing
everything.
that happens.
I will say
if Cameron was like good morning and I said morning, Cameron would be like, oh, so now it's
that
bad
was
morning.
really bratty.
Yeah,
was really bratty.
And I'd be like, I literally just said morning, dude. Like,
I
what
think
the hell?
like for me, there are some things that I let slide.
Your relationships usually end the same way.
Okay, so I've only had like one long-term relationship, but I had one, and I think it lasted no longer than a month, and they did not end the same way.
Really?
They did not.
All of my, I guess I wouldn't say all, so I've only ever been in 2 actual relationships, like where like we're dating, we're serious, like long term. But I've, you know, you go through the talking stages and whatever. They all ended the same way except for this last one. Every single one of them ended because I don't want to admit this to the public.
You have to.
I know. I tend to.
She tends to run away when things get good.
Thank you. No, I tend to get scared with stability.
Ooh, yeah. That was good.
I tend to.
Can we put that on a t-shirt?
Yeah, we can. I do. I tend to get comfortable and then get nervous because nothing's happening. And I think that is the reason. Actually, I know that's the reason that most of my relationships ended is because I ended them because I got comfortable and scared. Whereas this last one, it flipped, and he got comfortable and then got scared and ended it, and then, like, I sat back and I was like, ooh. But I will say, poor guy.
Poor guy.
Every single one of my relationships here we talk about, I'm gonna go, poor guy, because I'm a menace.
She is.
But I will say, poor guy, like 2-3 months into a relationship, maybe, I text my mom, and was just like, I think I'm bored, gonna run now.
Yeah, because you told my mom.
Yeah, I was like, alright, I'm bored. And they were like, are you bored or are you safe? And I went, what do you mean by that? And my mom goes, you run. You have a tendency to run, and right now I think you're in the stage where you would normally run. And you get really comfortable, and then you get scared that things are going to go wrong.
I'm going to go back to one of the previous questions. I think that is a behavior that you repeat.
I think it absolutely is. But I will say it is a behavior that I have worked on very hard.
Oh, 100%.
Because I did not run.
No.
In fact, I just recently ran back.
I think, so...
No, actually, let's not make it sound like I was begging for him back.
No, she wasn't.
He asked for me back.
And it's not like she...
And it's not like we're just going back and forth. Like,
No.
this is a, like...
This is a very adult relationship.
It is. We sat down, we had a lot of long, difficult conversations that nobody wants to have, obviously, but we kind of both sat there and were like, well, these are conversations that need to be had if we're going to move forward with this, because if we don't have these conversations, we're going to fall into the same patterns we had, and then it's going to end the same way.
So, my one relationship, my long-term relationship, was on and off for 5 years. And I just kept going back.
Yeah.
But also, like, that's the only thing I knew at the time. I was 15. Like, it's the only thing I knew, so I just kept going back. And, like, it was always him ending it. And I don't know why I didn't, like, catch on. He ended things. He never really, like, broke up with me. He just stopped texting.
That's worse, I think. Like, at least mine was like, hey, I'm not happy anymore.
Yeah. So that relationship started the end of my freshman year in high school and, like, officially ended the fall semester of my sophomore year in college. But it's like, in between that, there were so many breaks, and I don't know why I didn't catch on to it, but it was patterns. So it was always after, like, a year and a half or 2 years, he'd break it off. That's the way the one relationship ended. And then the second relationship I had was when the first relationship ended things with me, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is my break. Like, I'm finally gonna, like, move on, do my life, not run back. I was wrong. But in between that, there was another guy. Okay, so during that time that me and Jeff were split, I got with a dude named Bob. And funny story is, I've basically known Bob my whole entire life. How, like, elementary relationships go. Like, you date, whatever.
Yeah.
And we dated.
Push each other on the swings.
We dated, and then he moved away. And then we were in contact. And then when I was on break with Jeff, Bob texted me and was like, hey, like, we should catch up sometime, this and that. And I was like, oh, yes. Right. And I will say, it was the second most healthiest relationship I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm actively in one. Bob is just a genuine human being.
Mm-hmm.
Genuine. And I did the exact same thing that you did. I ran. I got so scared. And Jeff broke things off, and I jumped right into a relationship with Bob. But he, like, understood where I was coming from. So we stayed really, really good friends. Until recently.
Bob.
Is it toxic, or is it just a boundary?
Here's my stance on this. I think girl code, everyone's opinion is different. I think girl code is okay to an extent. But I don't think it's a boundary, and I don't think it's toxic. I think it's a little more toxic than it is a boundary, actually, because don't tell me what I can do. Number one,
yes.
Obviously, like, I would never date your ex. You know what I mean? Fair. But, like, I don't think I would ever date a friend's ex.
Yeah. I think, like, my viewpoint on it is almost to the T the exact same as yours.
I think sometimes girls are the most messy human beings on the planet.
God, they're awful.
And so
we're awful.
We really are. And so I struggle, like, I think girl code is more toxic, and it's everyone wants to preach girls support girls, and then all of a sudden we're not supporting girls.
Like, I'd never go after an ex.
No.
Whether it was a good relationship or not. But yeah. I think, like, if there's, like, someone that I find attractive, you find attractive, and we're both pursuing, right?
Yeah. But
then he's showing little less interest in either one of us. Doesn't matter. I'm backing off.
Really?
Yes.
I think it's less of girl code, and it's more just respect for one another.
I think girl code... Okay, I'm changing my entire opinion on girl code.
Okay.
I think... now that we just literally sat and talked about it, I think girl code is the biggest ever.
I love the switch up we have going here.
Because, no, it's just like my brain is like, it's like a hamster on a wheel. Like, it's going. I think girl code is stupid.
Yeah.
Because if you have such a good friendship and love your friend or...
You just want them to be happy.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, if you wanted to get with one of my exes, I'd be like... it'd be awkward.
It'd be very awkward, but also comes down to, I have so much respect for you. I would not do that.
But even if you did, I would want you to genuinely be happy, and if that's what made you happy, go for it.
Toxic, or is it a boundary?
I think it's toxic. I think girl code is toxic.
Yes.
I think mutual respect is not neither. I think it's just mutual respect.
Strap in.
Okay.
Put seatbelts on. Grab onto something. Because this one's getting deep.
Oh, hell.
Who hurt you more? A friend or a partner?
Yeah, you go, because I'm thinking.
I'm honestly going to say friend. Because, don't get me wrong, that long-term relationship I was in completely destroyed me as a person. But I feel like a friendship breakup is worse than a relationship breakup.
I'm trying to think of my friendship endings. I would say friendship. What was the question again? What is hurting?
Who hurt you more? A friend or a partner? I think friends have hurt me more than a person, or a partner.
I would say I would go completely off the script and say I've had family hurt me more than anybody ever. Coming to like the actual question, I can't answer the question with one of those two because I don't think I've ever had anyone hurt me that badly. But I will say I think it's easier for friends to hurt you more.
Yes.
I'll say friends know you on a deeper level than most people do because like you are unapologetically yourself. Like you know more about me than Stan ever probably did, just because there is no shield up with a friendship. Because
for the watchers, the listeners, the observers, if this is hitting close to home, what is a pattern that you need to change? Comment down below. We would love to hear your responses.
We'd love it.
We would love it. And
we would literally love it.
We'd probably respond.
Yeah, we have nothing better to do other than like go to work and then come home and suck at Fortnite. So.
All right, next question. Would you date yourself? Be honest.
Yes.
Oh, 100% I would date myself.
I will say, now, while I am a menace to society and everyone in it, my love language is to, like, cook and to care for people. So, I take very good care of the people I love. And you can even ask Cameron, like, I take very good care of the people I love. And I think that alone is a good reason as to why I would date myself. I'm a good person, and I'm a good girlfriend. I really am.
Like, I would worship the ground that I walk on.
I will say, I think I found just about as close as I'm going to get to dating me.
Oh, 100%.
Stan is always like, if I'm like, hey, dude, like, I'm going to cook dinner and I'm super tired. Can you do the dishes? Yeah. Does he know where any of our dishes go? No. But if I tell him, like, plates go in this cupboard, blah, 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 he will 100% do it. If you ask him for help, he will 100% help you. But personality-wise, it's literally me. And that's sometimes really stressful. Other times it's great, and then sometimes I'm like, I want to kill you, and then I go, oh, wait.
I honestly think I am, again, not to toot, like, my own horn, but I think, like, I am all around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the best person to date.
You're a very caring person.
Yeah, like, I feel like I give off, like, the maternal, like, aspect in a relationship, but I'm also fun.
I'm a very funny, very, like...
I'm very outgoing. Even though I don't, like, seem like it.
You are.
It's just that, like, going out, like, we go out to the bar.
Yeah.
It's not really my scene. I enjoy going out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you put me on a plane, we're going to a beach, you'll never see me again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm exploring.
You're very fun, very adventurous, whereas, like, I would say I'm the same way. I feel like I'm a very fun, good time. Like, I mean, there's lots of people that don't like me, but I've never met someone that's like, no, I didn't have fun with her. Never once.
Oh, no.
So that's where I feel like I'm fun. What was yesterday? Friday? I was dying. I will say I'm a very fun, very outgoing, very loving person. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, I just want to take care of you. And, like, your needs are, like, my top priority. So I feel like, absolutely, I would date myself. Oh. What's something you know you need to work on but keep avoiding? Cameron?
I think I need to...
I can tell you mine right now.
Work on building a backbone and standing up for myself.
Yes. I 1000% agree with you. I 1000% agree with you.
I also think I need to work on being less focused on what's happening now.
That's a good one. I'm going to give you that. That's a good one. Mine's communication.
Oh, 100%.
I really struggle to talk about my feelings and to open up about things.
I think something you need to work on.
Right.
Is not thinking that everybody is out to get you.
I don't think that everyone's out to get me.
No,
I do think that...
I just didn't know how to word it, low-key.
I don't think anyone has good intentions.
Yeah, I think you need to... I think that's, like...
I see the worst case scenario in everything I do.
I think the way I said it was the wrong words, but you knew what I was getting at.
Yeah.
But I think that's something you need to work on.
Probably.
Not probably. Yes, you do.
I might.
But the thing is like... I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's also not the best.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a good thing.
Maybe,
I do genuinely see the worst case scenario.
Maybe sees the worst case scenario, and I see the best.
Yes. It is. I see the worst case scenario in everything that happens.
What's something you think I need to work on? Other than the stuff that I mentioned.
I think something that you really need to work on is your... I don't know, self-worth? I wouldn't say self-worth.
Ooh.
But I don't think it's self-worth. I would say you need to know the value you bring to other people's lives.
Chat, I think we're going to have to end the podcast after that.
I do. Deep. I think you need to realize the value you bring to other people's lives. And I think you also need to realize the value other people bring to your life and counteract those two things and realize that you keep a lot of people in your life that don't deserve to be there.
Do you think being toxic means being a bad person?
No.
Go ahead. Back up.
Okay, I'll continue it. I think that some people don't know any better, and I'm not... So, I'm a big person on, like, just because you had a childhood doesn't mean you can be an adult. But I also think that when something is so ingrained into your brain cavity and your, like, DNA that it's a struggle. But I think that at the end of the day, being toxic is a choice, and if you choose not to do it, then I wouldn't say you're a bad person.
Oh, I'm like 50-50, low-key.
If you willingly are a toxic pile of yes, you're a bad person. But if you are toxic and you don't realize it, or you're toxic and you want to be different and you just need, like, help getting there, I don't think you're a bad person.
No, I 100% agree. I think that...
Especially, like, I have toxic traits. Do you think I'm a bad person?
Yeah. No.
Fair enough.
I think, like, growing up, whether you had a good childhood, bad childhood, if you had a good relationship, toxic relationship,
yeah,
whatever, I think it doesn't define who you are.
It can. But you can let it.
You can let it define, but I don't think it does.
No.
I think that's not toxic. I don't think you're a bad person. But I also feel like if you did grow up in those situations and you willingly chose not to put forth the effort to change and better yourself, then I think you're a bad person.
Yeah.
I also think if you're a bad person, are you toxic?
No. I don't think bad people are toxic. I think you're a bad person. Because I think a bad person willingly chooses to hurt people or break the law or do something against God's will, whatever you believe in. Whereas a toxic person has bad personality traits, which are fixable things. But I think sometimes if you're a bad person down to your core, it's not fixable.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that being a bad person doesn't mean you're toxic.
Yeah.
You're just a bad person.
Right. I know people who are bad people by definition, like blah, 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 blah. Because they treat their old lady so well. Mm-hmm. And you're like, so therefore, no, I don't think if you're a bad person, you're toxic. I think I need to move, though.
I think if you're a bad person, you're a bad person until proven otherwise.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's it for us, right?
I think so.
That's all we got for today. So thank you for listening to today's episode. If this made you question yourself even a little bit, same. Until next time, stay honest, stay messy, and remember, toxic?
Probably.